Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we're just going to have a quick look at all of my Amorphophallus. So these are the corpse flowers. I only have 4 varieties, but 4 is good enough for right now. I'm starting a little collection, so when I find more, I will pick them up. But at the moment, I have 4. So right now, I have a bulbifer, which is this guy right here. And I have some Amorphophallus, which are right here. They haven't started sprouting. I thought it'd be fun in this video to take them out of the pot and see what the bulb looks like, or the corm looks like. I've got 2 of those. It looks like it's growing, but that's a peanut. We got a squirrel around here that likes to plant peanuts everywhere. And then over here, we have the Amorphophallus Titan. So this guy's just a little baby. My glasses are starting to fog up. It's pretty humid outside. The leaf is just starting to come out. We're going to look a little closer at that. And I've got some Amorphophallus konjac. It is not flowering. That is a rain lily. But the konjac is pretty interesting as well. So I really enjoy these plants. I think that they're really underused as houseplants or as outdoor foliage plants because they remind me of little palm trees. Well, not so little. Some of them get quite large. And, well, actually, let's get a little bit closer and look at these a little better. Okay, so they're not all built the same. Some of them are more tropical than others. Some of them require more humidity than others. And light levels vary by each plant as well. But basically, they all like bright indirect light. This Titan can get quite large. It likes to, when it goes dormant, you don't really want to keep it completely dry. The corm could dry out and die. Whereas something like the konjac, it's an easy one for beginners. I'll show you my other pot of konjac. It's just ridiculous. These guys, you could store them completely dry. I usually put the soil or the pot downstairs, let it die down into the soil. And in the springtime, I like to dig it all up and separate things and repot. So this one's a really easy one for beginners. Again, the konjac. And then the bulbifer, from what I've experienced so far, it seems to be very similar to the konjac, where it can be stored completely dry. I did have this one completely dry for basically the whole season. This one's actually an interesting one because it will produce a baby corm at the center of the leaf. So right in here, you'll see it already starting to develop one. It's starting to develop a corm right here, and it might even be starting to develop one right here by my fingertip right here. Same thing on this one. It's already starting to protrude. You can see right there by my finger, right there in the center of the leaf. And they get to be a good size, not gigantic, but last year I put them back in the soil, and as you can see, I've got some little baby plants sprouting. So it looks like there's actually another little baby one starting right by my finger as well. So that's pretty interesting. It's a good way to increase your number of plants. Again, they remind me of a palm tree. This is just one leaf, and the one leaf has many little leaflets on it. So very, very interesting. And these can get quite large. The bulbifer, I don't know that it's going to get too much larger than this. I haven't done too much research on it. Maybe a little bit bigger, but all in all, quite a small one, more compact. The flower is the most showy, I think, on the bulbifer. The flower is actually pink. As you can imagine, with a name like corpse flower, these guys have flowers that smell like rotting meat. It's disgusting. But they only flower for a few days, or the smell only lasts for a few days, so you're probably not going to be grossed out by it for too long. I think that the foliage is way more spectacular than the flower, in my opinion. Many people are going to say absolutely not, because the flowers can get quite large. The Titan, it's going to want bright indirect light outside. If you live in a really hot climate where the sun is really baking hot, you'd probably want to keep it in a part shade location. This guy here, it doesn't really go dormant like the others. It does go dormant, but it's a very sporadic dormancy. So last winter, it had leaves all winter long, and just before it came outside, the leaf decided to collapse. So when talking Amorphophallus, Like this one will die back in the fall, and then it'll be dormant all winter, and then it'll come back out in the spring. Whereas this guy, it will be just very irregular, making it very, very difficult to keep kind of in a house as it gets bigger. Right now it'll be fine, but when the leaf starts to get to be, let's say 8 or 10 feet tall, it might not be a good candidate for a house plant. Inside, if you're growing it as a house plant, you'll probably want to give it direct light, as much sun as possible. If you have a conservatory or a sunroom, you might want to give it a little bit of shade, but for the most part, inside the house, bright light is probably the best. So let's get to unpotting these little guys, the little Amorphophallus, and see what's happening. I'm going to probably do this one because I kind of like the peanut growing in this. I want to see what happens. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so let's take this guy out of the pot. I might reuse the soil, I might not. I wonder if it's even starting to develop any growth, or if it's even alive. Okay, so the corm, it's just starting to produce some growth right now, actually. So what happens with the Amorphophallus is the old corm, it basically, for lack of a better word, it rots. The new corm gets developed, and it uses the energy from the old corm. So every season, you're going to have a brand new corm. So it's going to feed off of the old one. It's going to desiccate, and you're going to be left with a brand new one. So as you can see, we've got some nice growth starting to happen here. We've also got some nice root development. As you can see, the nice white roots. I don't need to change the size of this pot. I think that the 1 gallon size pot is perfect for this bulb right now. I probably could go up to a 2 gallon size, but it's not necessary. We'll wait and see what happens next year if the corm size gets much bigger. So actually, let's take this one out and see what's going on. I've got peanuts growing in all kinds of plants, so I don't really need it. All right, take the tag out. This one here has all kinds of new growth happening. This one should get upsized in its pot. Let's look at this one. This one's really interesting. The old corm is kind of used up. It's still attached to the base. I'm not going to remove it. This one you can very much see the new growth developing here, and we've got 2 little arms. These little arms were going down the side of the pot. These will produce little baby corms. So I think that's all that's in this pot. That's fantastic. So I'll end up potting these up, removing any of the leftover bits of corm that allow me to remove it. And I'll pot these up maybe 2 inches below the soil surface. And I'm also going to plant it on a slight angle so that water can't pool in the little bowl here. So very much like a tuberous begonia, you want to tilt them just a little bit to the side. So also during the growing season, it's very, very good to feed them regularly. I usually use a slow release fertilizer to start off in the soil. And then I usually fertilize every other week with a balanced Miracle-Gro. So anyway, this has been the Amorphophallus update. All of my plants. They're such a cool plant. I hope that more people get interested in these little guys. They're not very little. They can be really, really amazing and big. So if you haven't Googled them yet, make sure to Google Amorphophallus and be prepared for the crazy flowers and the huge big palm tree like leaf. Oh, they're pretty amazing. Anyway, show me what you're growing. If you're growing Amorphophallus, I'd love to see your photos of your plants. Post them to the Plants and Things What's Growing page, or tag me in Instagram. I'd love to see them. And I might actually do a separate video on just potting these up. Anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing.